let's not forget, even though we just talked about T.D. Ierlan, that it's been Alec Stathakis taking the faceoffs. He excelled last year as the primary specialist for Bill Tierney, and Justin Coppola for Villanova as we get ready for college lacrosse action. Villanova trying to impress the selection committee underway. Could be 85 degrees as it's Denver winning the opening faceoff. As Stathakis, Ohio, U.S. Lacrosse High School All-American, preseason All-American. There's the face-off. Watch out for Stathakis jumping. At times when you watch the tape, he has a quick trigger, and that's what makes him so special. It's been terrific as of late for Villanova. Great way to get things started. Jack Thompson having a good year, the lefty making his 16th career start. 56% on the year, while Will Vuitton at 52%. And there is T.D. Ierlan into the game. They've gone with Stathakis usually early, then eventually to T.D. Ierlan later. How about that, bringing the best of all? Pat Daly been scoring a lot. He had 4 goals against Denver. Colin Crowley big there. And the face-off will be taken by T.D. Ierlan. Quick offense by Denver, unsettled. Look at the tic-tac-toe passing and the great Ethan Walker, the best shooter in the country for my money. The lefty out of Peterborough, Ontario, strikes again. His 27th goal of the season. Missed their last game. He's missed a couple of games this year. Comes in with 43 points, a 31% shooter. It's tough. You really have to have your head on a swivel, and nothing to stop that if you're Nova. Denver can slow it down as they've done for years, but you know, if they can get you unsettled, they have the snipers to beat you. And Ethan Walker, such a fantastic, transcendent player, had a Denver record 8 goals at Nova in 2018. There's your second procedure call in terms of a face-off on outside are electric. Justin Coppola battling new face-off rules this year. There's a push on Nova. Wing play will be important, especially with the new rules where it's more of a 50-50 scrum, of course. Justin Coppola battling for the face-off. And Villanova is able to win it, and they neutralize T.D. Ierlan that time. It's much different with the rules. To really come up big as Corey McMahon is shooting very well. 10 for his last 14 over the last 2. As Villanova will put Dan Fisher into the game. He's actually done pretty well against Dan Fisher, or against T.D. Ierlan through the years. So Dan Fisher and T.D. Ierlan meeting up yet again. And there's Fish to try and grab it. There's a push on Denver as A.J. Mercurio will give the ball to 89 career points. The graduate midi and a good shooter. Face-off is won by Stathakis. Final moments of the first quarter. Dan Fisher has won 1 face-off. Coppola has won 3. 5 Pioneers were drafted on Monday night, and T.D. Ierlan was one of them. He's going to the Redwoods, and he tries to shoot it. The all-time face-off single season percentage record is T.D. Ierlan, 79% with Albany in 2018. But they'll have to go back to Stathakis, who's been leading the Big East. Or is that T.D. Ierlan back out there? It is. The greatest of all time, according to many there. Comes back out and wins another face-off. Keep him coming. That's 4 today for T.D. Ierlan. Low shot, bounces wide, back up for Denver. 7, T.D. Ierlan, 4 of 6. Coppola, 3 of 10. Fisher, 1 of 3 today. Officials, P.J. Colello, Mike Kimfey, Robert Ritchie. As we see Stathakis on a jump. Something we've seen a lot of this season. He's quick. And Villanova in front. This was the score at halftime in the first meeting this season, with Denver leading by a goal. And then we saw the 10-3 third quarter, a big run. They put T.D. Ierlan into the game, and suddenly it wasn't going so well. But Justin Coppola able to use his wings. And Stevie, preseason All-American, played for Matt Brown for Team Canada at the U19 World Championships. A 31-game point streak. He had a Denver record, 8 goals in the win here at Villanova 2018. Dan Fisher battles with T.D. Ierlan, who wins it for Denver. Head coach Mike Corrado has tried Dan Fisher a lot in a game over Kevin Cunningham and Brian Karolounis. I'm Nick Montagna. Thanks for joining us. That was one of my favorite moments, watching the selection show with those guys in 2011, with Matt Bell, Brian Carolunas, and the whole gang, Vigilante, and seeing the faces light up when their name was announced for the NCAA tournament, having to go to Denver. Playing one game, all their players and teams were in the national stats, so it's bumping off the teams down who have played a full season. Stathakis against Coppola, violation on Stathakis. I believe his third of the game, so Villanova has possession, tied at 7. Alex Simmons coming up big there. He had 48 goals. That was 7th best in the country. Big East Freshman of the Year, 17 at 72 points, a Denver freshman record. Been an All-American every single season. And the face-off won by T.D. Ierlan. Keegan Khan, his 6th of the year, the 22nd of his career. T.D. Ierlan against Justin Coppola. And Chet Comizio coming in for the ground ball. And there is Villanova to win it with Matt Webster, number 40. Out of LaSalle Villanova a few years back. 30th goal of the season for Ethan Walker. Justin Coppola against Stathakis, who wins it. Stathakis will race it downfield. Thought about shooting it, perhaps. Now it's lost, and Denver. Time now a factor. 2:13 left. Stathakis and Coppola. Coppola trying to box out, and there's a push that'll be going to Nova. So a big chance here against the greatest of all time, T.D. Ierlan. Down by 1. 1 minute left here on Nova Nation All Access. The youngster Coppola out of Long Island against T.D. Ierlan out of Victor, New York. Here we go. Possibly for a chance to win it. T.D. Ierlan sends it loose. Villanova had a beat on it momentarily. Coppola has it for the Wildcats. It looked like T.D. Ierlan was about to win it. And they go to T.D. Ierlan, Justin Coppola. Here we go again. 31 seconds left, tied at 10. T.D. Ierlan wins it to himself. T.D. Ierlan shoots and Baton stops him. And Denver gets it. They can call a timeout, and they will. Overtime. The only loss for Denver, only game into overtime, was the loss at Georgetown. And here we go again. Denver back on the East Coast in overtime against the Big East. Justin Coppola. Remember, face-off rule. You can't spin anymore. So you see the guys trying to hold their ground. This is as close as it's been all day long. Justin Coppola, officials asking, will somebody be able to pry it loose? You see they're spinning. They're really not allowed to do that anymore, but I can't fault either guy. They're just battling, and the officials are letting them go at it, and Coppola somehow wins it. It was Stathakis there against Coppola. Was there a push? And Denver has it. A loose ball. Coppola couldn't grab it. Some teams like to call timeout. Some coaches like to let their teams play. Once you get into overtime,